The air crackled with anticipation. A sea of jerseys, a kaleidoscope of color, filled the stadium. The roar of the crowd was deafening, a constant hum punctuated by chants and cheers. Under the floodlights, two titans of football prepared to clash. The energy was palpable. It was a night for legends, a night where history would be written. The stands were packed, every seat taken, every vantage point claimed. The energy was infectious. This wasn't just another match. This was a battle for supremacy, a grudge match. The tension was as thick as the smell of hot dogs and sweat hanging in the air. On one side stood the home team, the Lions, led by their captain, the indomitable Carlos El Toro Rodriguez. Carlos, with his unyielding spirit and relentless drive, was the heart and soul of the team. His leadership on and off the field inspired his teammates to push beyond their limits. Known for his fiery temper and powerful strikes, Carlos was a force to be reckoned with. His ability to turn the tide of the game with a single thunderous kick made him a legend in the eyes of fans and foes alike. Facing them were the Dragons, captained by the cool and collected Alessandro the Maestro Bianchi. Alessandro's calm demeanor under pressure and his tactical genius were the cornerstones of the Dragons' success. Alessandro, a master strategist with pinpoint passes, was the architect of the Dragons' elegant playing style. His vision on the field allowed him to orchestrate plays with surgical precision, making him a formidable opponent. Both teams boasted a constellation of star players. Each player brought their unique flair and skill set, creating a dynamic and unpredictable game. Speedsters, strategists, and enforcers, each a master of their craft. The blend of different playing styles and strengths made every match a thrilling spectacle. The crowd knew they were in for a spectacle. The energy in the stadium was electric, with fans eagerly anticipating every move and play. The stakes were high. Not just league standings, but pride, honor, and bragging rights. Every player knew that this match could define their season and possibly their careers. The tension on the pitch was mirrored in the stands. Fans from both sides were on the edge of their seats, their emotions swinging with every pass and tackle. Every fan held their breath. The anticipation was palpable, as everyone knew that in a game of this magnitude, anything could happen at any moment. The whistle blew, and the battle commenced. The first half was a chess match, a tense back and forth. Both teams defended resolutely, unwilling to yield an inch. The Lions, fueled by the roar of their home crowd, attacked with their trademark ferocity. Carlos, a man possessed, led the charge. The Dragons, cool under pressure, countered with their signature precision passing. Alessandro orchestrated their attacks with masterful ease. The score remained frustratingly level at 0-0. The tension in the stadium was thick enough to cut with a knife. The crowd, sensing that the game was on a knife's edge, roared their approval. As the second half progressed, the game became increasingly physical. Tackles were harder, challenges more desperate. The referee struggled to maintain control as tempers flared. The crowd, sensing the shift in atmosphere, responded in kind. The chants grew louder, the jeers more pointed. The stadium was a cauldron of emotions ready to boil over. Carlos and Alessandro, their rivalry reaching boiling point, clashed repeatedly. Words were exchanged, shoves given and received. The referee struggled to keep them apart. Then in the 85th minute, with the score still tied, the unthinkable happened. A rash challenge, a moment of madness, and the game descended into chaos. The Dragons' Marco, frustrated by a series of physical challenges, lunged into a reckless tackle on the Lions' star winger. The tension had been building throughout the match, with both teams pushing the limits of physical play. Marco, known for his fiery temper, finally snapped, his frustration boiling over in that fateful moment. The crowd gasped as the winger crumpled to the ground, clutching his ankle in agony. The stadium fell into a stunned silence, the air thick with anticipation and concern. Fans held their breath, waiting to see if the star player would get back up. The referee, his authority challenged, brandished a straight red card. His decision was immediate and unwavering, a clear message that such reckless behavior would not be tolerated. The red card gleamed under the stadium lights, a symbol of justice in the heat of the moment. Marco, his face ashen, trudged off the pitch, leaving his team a man down. His shoulders slumped, the weight of his actions evident in every step. The Dragons' hopes of victory now seemed distant, the cost of his rash decision painfully clear. The Lions players, incensed by the tackle, surrounded the referee, demanding retribution. Their voices rose in a cacophony of anger and frustration, each player seeking justice for their fallen teammate. The referee stood firm, his expression resolute. Carlos, his eyes blazing, was at the forefront of the melee, his voice a furious roar. He was the heart and soul of the Lions, and his passion ignited the team. His anger was palpable, a force that seemed to shake the very ground beneath them. The Dragons players rushed to defend their teammate, forming a protective ring around him. They knew the stakes were high, and unity was their only strength. Their solidarity was a testament to their bond, forged through countless battles on the field. Alessandro, ever the peacemaker, tried to calm the situation. His voice was a soothing contrast to the chaos, a beacon of reason amidst the storm. He pleaded for calm, hoping to diffuse the escalating tension, but it was too late. The damage was done, and the match had descended into chaos. The referee's whistle pierced the air, a futile attempt to restore order. The beautiful game had turned into a battlefield, and the repercussions would be felt long after the final whistle. The stadium erupted. The energy was electric, the anticipation palpable. Fans were on the edge of their seats, their cheers echoing through the night. The fight, sparked by a moment of madness, spread like wildfire. What began as a minor altercation quickly escalated into a full-blown brawl, with tempers flaring and emotions running high. Players from both sides clashed, fists flew, and the crowd went berserk. The stands turned into a cauldron of chaos, with fans hurling objects and shouting obscenities. Security personnel rushed onto the pitch, desperately trying to restore order. Their efforts seemed futile as the melee continued to rage, the pitch a battleground. Coaches and officials joined the fray, their voices lost in the cacophony. They tried to pull players apart, but the intensity of the moment overwhelmed their attempts. The match was abandoned, the result irrelevant in the face of the chaos. The field, once a place of competition, now lay in disarray, a stark contrast to the excitement that had filled it moments before. The beautiful game had descended into an ugly brawl, leaving a stain on the sport and its participants. The aftermath was a scene of devastation, with debris scattered and players hanging their heads in shame. The consequences of that night would be felt for years to come. The incident sparked debates and discussions, with many questioning the integrity and spirit of the sport. Reputations were tarnished, careers jeopardized. Players who had once been heroes now faced scrutiny and criticism, their actions under the harsh spotlight of public opinion. The fight would forever be etched in the memories of those who witnessed it, a stark reminder of the dark side of passion and competition. It served as a cautionary tale, a moment in history that would not be easily forgotten.